And of course, we want to thank the Camping Universe for having Sims 2 Serious on board here. This is going to be a lot of fun here tonight. If you guys want to join this league, this is just their first race. I don't think it would be too late for you guys to join starting next week. And hopefully we can get everyone in who wants to be in within the next couple of weeks here. Get this league growing and moving. And there's your starting lineup. It'll bounce in and out. We have 5 views. Those are from Twitch. We also have about 4 other live views coming in from Facebook. So we want to thank you guys. That 56 in the middle of your screen, that is followers that we have. We just hit 50, I think, yesterday. And since then, we've already gained 6 more since then. So we want to thank you up front. We start moving along here. Go through the field a little bit. Up front, the number is 04 and the number is 07. I'm always a fan of those 0 cars. That's Sykes on the inside and Nelson on the outside. Jesse, you want to take the next row?
Sure. Row 2 is going to be Dustin Matson in the 13 and number 95, Stephen Mayak. Mayak was in the pre-race parties early in the practice. We were chatting a bit.
Yeah, Stephen, this is like nickname or racing name we see here. I saw him quite a bit in the Sims 2 Series Cup Series. Had a great season with us there. Next row, 48 of Smorl on the inside. On the outside, a hungry-looking machine, the 19 McDonald's Chevrolet. Smith, who looks like JT Poole, was supposed to start 6th, is elected to start in the back. Row 4, the 37 of Robinson, and on the outside, I guess that would be the 10 of Mintz. And I'll let you roll out the final top 10 cars.
Looks like Jared Ziegler is going to be starting P9, round out the 5th row. Next to him is going to be... Oh, looks like Mintz is in P10 there, starting 10th.
Well, it looks like
behind him is
up a bit.
Brian Ziegler. Looks like Ziegler's are nose to tail here on the start. Let's see how that works out. And next to Brian is going to be Jacob Shilefo. Sorry.
That's the one thing that we're going to have to work on after this is the names. All right, pace car coming around. Pace car is in.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out, and here we go. Boogity, 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 boys. Let's go racing to start the season off.
But keeping it clean and calm right here so far.
As these guys work their way through, looks like everyone's trying to get organized. Most of the cars are going to try to jump to that inside, at least for the first few rows. That's the case. Further back, these guys are starting to fan out. A couple cars jump into the apron to try to scatter their way towards the back of the field. That's the 42. And the Tennessee car, looks like he clips the grass. But they'll file in. A lot of cars still 2x2, especially further in the back of the field. Looks like we got a solid amount of maybe 16 cars still side by side up front.
Coming around to complete the first lap. 04 Jeffrey Skies leads that. Oh, no, it's Caleb Nelson, sorry. Leading that first lap. Still side by side up front for the lead. Looks like that single file didn't quite work out as much as they wanted to, but these Xfinity cars quite punch quite a hole in the air, don't they?
That's the best part about these Xfinity cars, man. These cars are so nimble. I feel like they're so much lighter than these Cup cars. The only problem they're going to see tonight is those Toyotas. They have a pointed nose, much more than I think any of the Cup cars do. They don't line up with each other quite as well, and I think when that happens, you'll see some bump drafting go wrong. But so far, now we're starting to see guys file down. Up front, I believe that's the 95 who just took the lead, and he'll come around to lead his first laps of the day on lap 2.
Stephen Mayak in the number 95 purple People Like Grapes car. And I like grapes. Do you like grapes?
I love grapes. I'll tell you what, that's a man who likes grapes right there. And that's a man who's driving a great race so far.
Ooh, 22 made a quick move down there. I thought he was going sideways for a second. Look, only a few cars on the outside right now.
Yeah, we had a lot of cars on the outside. Now we only have 4. Let's see with the 19. He was following that 34, the Love's car, quite a bit. Looks like he's going to try to slide down in front of Jared Ziegler. Just wait for it. Hole closed up. Waited a little too long to make that move. Sometimes you see guys intentionally shuffle their way back to find that hole. Now the hole's there again, and he's thinking about it. Look at the 34. He's going to take it, though. 19 waited a little too long to make that move to the inside. Got some separation there up front. Nothing changed. Stephen Yoke and the I Love Grapes car is still up front. Led the 3rd lap completed so far. How about fastest lap for almost everyone in the entire field? With Norman King, my former co-host in the Sims 2 Series Cup Series, all the way back there. And 28 car, he was set the fastest lap of anyone this race. There's Norman in that shiny 28 car.
So what do you think the strategy is for this? Like, you can only run single file for so long before you start to even heat up too much. So I think we'll see people, actually the high line here has already added a few cars since the backstretch.
Yeah, it looks like the 19 and the 34 were struggling to get to the bottom, but the cars that they were trying to force themselves in front of, like that 57 that we're focused in on right now, they've already moved themselves up further from that. So you can already see that the outside lane is moving. They're already moving and grooving. And you know how I just mentioned that the fastest car was Norman? Last time by, the fastest car was the 76 of Newton in that Corsair car towards the back. So these guys are, they're running extraordinarily fast laps, and that's why you don't want to risk being shuffled out of this pack. One car is already shuffled out of this pack, 29 seconds back from the field, and that's Mintz in the 10 car, who we had mentioned was starting, it looked like he was starting from the pit lane.
Interesting strategy. It's a long race though, so even if he gets lapped, he still has plenty of time to get that time back. Looks like they started to see into that high line that's starting to form up here. We got 5 cars nose to tail.
It is really coming together. The 34 car, he was all the way up to 3rd place on lap 2. 3 laps later, he's just right back to where he was. Coming up now on 3rd and now up to 2nd place, just alongside the 07 car. So the 34 car had to be a little patient. A couple laps ago, we were talking about he was trying to shuffle in line, back in around 10th place on the inside. Now big move from the 07 there. 3 wide for the lead, and the 34 may have just gotten shuffled out. He will be on the outside 3rd lane all alone. 07.
Let's see if anybody takes that 3rd lane.
No taker so far for the 34. Might have a hole back there if he doesn't get caught up in the 13. Looks like he will. Great move there by the 34. Slide back in line. 2 solid lines right now of cars. Oh, another car gets shuffled out. Oh, he's going to have to be very careful here. Looks like he got pushed out of line.
That deformed the whole front pack, especially the inside lane.
And there is the 13 car. Matson not sure if he had an issue or he was kind of shuffled out of the pack. And we were talking about, there's the 10 car all alone running 31st. And there's the pack catching him already. 34 seconds back from the lead. And how about the 07 of Nelson? Ended up taking the lead through that exchange. Poked his way through the middle. And that 22 car, we haven't talked about Owens at all. Biggest mover of the race so far is Owens, up 12 positions now. He's working himself a great outside lane. He's been very patient. He was about the 4th car in the outside lane. Now he's the lead car in the outside lane. And looks like he's going to the lead right now.
Mine just has so much momentum, and Steven Mayak, 95, People Love Grapes. He's going to the high side, letting the inside lane totally collapse now.
Yeah, it's surprising. A lot of these iRacers really like to hug that inside line. I always found that the outside lane was faster, period. But these guys here on iRacing, it's really common to just jump to the inside lane because it's comfortable down there. There's a lot less sway in the car. It's a lot easier to know where to go. You hug the yellow line. Worst case scenario, maybe you scrape the apron with your splitter. If you're running the outside line trying to run comfortably, worst case scenario, you spin up going into the corner or you pancake the wall. And I think that's why a lot of people like that inside line, but I'm with the people like Grape's car. Jump up to the outside line even if I am the 3rd car on the inside line.
For sure, the updates that iRacing has done and the changes to the drafting and the tires and stuff has made these drafting tracks way more fun, way more realistic, and those high lines and even the 3-wide racing is totally viable now. I think a lot of people take that inside because, you know, that's the only place we could go for the longest time on a lot of these tracks, especially for a longer race like this. So now we're going to do a lot more racing. Let's see, we're 10 laps into this run and they're still side by side up front.
I mean, not a very long race here tonight. We are looking at 100 laps, so we are just about a tenth of the way through already. And these cars aren't slowing down at all. They have 2 pit stops at least to make in this race, so we'll see how they decide to form themselves out. Talking about some of the guys going to the back that we watched the 42 car. I think it was lap 2. He jumped to the back. He just ran the fastest lap of anyone in this race at a 47 flat. So these guys are moving and grooving. If you're just joining us, I see that we have up to 14 people watching us live across all 3 of our platforms. This is the Camping Universe Xfinity season opener.
Mickey D's going to the lead up front.
That
Johnson
is. Look at this.
Inside's fighting back though.
Can we watch the McDonald's curse be broken here on iRacing? Oh, car in the wall. 88 car towards the back of the field. Got really, really loose. There he is. Not a whole lot of damage up front, but though we have new problem. We have lap cars to deal with soon. On board now with Nelson. Now what a frustrating place it is for Nelson. When you're on that inside line, you're just screaming for the car behind you to give you a love tap. Look at this big surge on the outside. 22 and the 19 is going to clear the 07 going into the corner. Helpless feeling as Nelson just gets stuck behind. He's not going to be the 3rd car on the inside line, and there they are. They're going to work around this lap car. Total disconnection from the front pack now.
Yeah, and that's going to be really interesting to see if the second pack can't catch up quite. Then it's going to make the green flag pit stops more interesting. Like, what's that second pack going to do? Can they afford to get tires? They might rejoin, though, so that might resolve itself, but we'll see here.
Yeah, they got spread out very quickly here. 34 car basically all alone there on the outside for quite a ways. Maybe has a drafting partner now. And he'll slide in line, looks like, in front of that Toyota, that green Toyota we saw there on the inside. Up front, though, Owens and Smith. We're talking about that 22 car. He was being aggressive. I think he found himself a lap led already. We've had, I think maybe 4 or 5 different leaders already, and now 13 completed laps. If you are watching us live, please feel free to drop a comment. Let us know what you are thinking, what your thoughts are, and what you're seeing on screen. This is our first race with this league, so we're going to have a little screwy here on the broadcast. Oh, big moment there towards the back of the field. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think it was was that the 10 car coming down, or was that further back?
I think it was the 10 car coming down, trying to get back in line. Only car 1 lap down right now. He just needs a caution and to not be the caution. 22 car just got shuffled out of line. Maybe a overheating issue. Had to really push that leader to the front. And we know that Nelson's aggressive there. Here comes Nelson coming back. So the 22 is going to go from second. And he'll fall all the way towards the back of this first big group.
29 car dropped below the apron there. Not sure if that was to get some air or what that was for.
That 22 car is really falling, dropping like a rock all alone on the outside. Continues to lose spots. That is...
I'm sure his strategy is okay with that. Like, you never like to lose spots, but if you're the one out there trying to make stuff happen, trying to get speed, trying to move up, like, You know, that's just a sign for people later on that you're going to be one of those people that wants to move to the front.
That's absolutely true. People like to know which ones we can trust. And I just realized something. The individual in the 34 car is not the number 26. The 26 is the 34. This is why people have to stop using custom numbers if it's not actually their number. That was JT Poole this entire time. How do you like that? JT Poole in the 34 Loves car. Imagine that JT was all the way to the front after intentionally going towards the back. Got shuffled out 3 wide situation twice, and currently finds himself in 8th place again. So how about that for a turnaround for the kid?
That to the notes, 34 equals 26.
Now make sure you tell your teacher that in math. Now, they might already agree with you, I don't know.
Oh, was that some contact one in turn 1? I think somebody had some lag. I saw some smoke.
Could have been the 34, I think. He's got the biggest disconnect of the 2 car disconnected from him. A little bit of a separation now. There's actually 2 distinct groups now. Everyone's single file on the bottom. Not sure if this is a part of the strategy. We're quite a ways away from pitting. Though I will say it's not surprising after 16 laps of racing as hard as they were that they're kind of done doing that. 22 car, look at him working around that 5 car. He's thinking about which way he can go. He's going to pass the 5 now on the inside. That 22 car just wants to go. Oh, the 5 car maybe got some wall there just now. 5 car may have a problem. He is swerving back and forth. 22 continues to try to make his way, claw his way back towards the front. So far, who do you like in terms of chances to win this race?
Just say it's really up in the air. Oh, it turned! Big wreck! 88's on its door!
88 car upside down, hit again by Norman King, still flipping. More cars involved. The 42 is involved. The 36 is in the grass. The 09 with not a front end. Big time junk. The 2 is involved. The 37's involved. And the question is who was not involved? 88 car absolutely destroyed there. Wow. What a big moment. Trying to cycle through to see which cars maybe didn't get damaged. 22 car to have a big slowdown. That basically took out half the field. And while they were single file, let's get a replay of that before they come into pit lane. Here's the replay. 2 car just gets clipped by the 88. They are awkwardly 3 wide. And there you can see the 88 flipping, twisting, turning, pile drive again by more damage behind them. We'll see if we can get another replay of that. What happened behind this 88 car.
That's the thing about how the pack was spread out. Like a lot of cars, even though they weren't a massive pack, a lot of cars are still going to get involved because of how spread out they were. And the wreck just kept happening all through turns 3 and 4.
Oh man, big time jump for a lot of cars. Even cars towards the very back of this pack. The 42 got some damage, the 36 went through the grass. You're in these trains going as fast as they were, and Pennington, that'll probably be his day in the 2. He was the one who was turned before anything else happened there. You can see there he is again. I'm just trying to see exactly what happens here. Does he get turned, or does he turn himself? I think the 88 car comes down.
Oh man, that's hard to tell. I'm watching from the blimp right now. I think that'll tell the best story.
Well, you can see they were awkwardly 3 wide, and what I mean by that is they weren't really organized, and then the 2 gets just turned, pile driven by the 36, destroyed again by some more cars involved. The 09 got destroyed. The 76 does a great job going through the grass. I don't think he hits anyone. 71 looks like he came to a complete stop. There you can see him coming across your screen there in a second. Big time junk for a lot of these cars.
Yeah, did Steven Mintz get the free pass?
I'm gonna guess that Mintz was the free pass car going through pit lane. These are the cars that got the most damage. There's the 5 of Shell Foy. You saw him in the wall. There's the 37. Here comes the 5. He's gonna exit pit lane now. He's coming back. 10 did get the free pass. Looks like he got damage free on that. Big time damage for a lot of these cars. So we work our way back towards the front of this field. 19 car, still your leader, did not pit there. 3 cars stayed out. Interesting that 3 cars would stay out here. I mean, they still have to pit 2 more times. The rest of this field, it looks like they can make it on just 1 more stop.
What's up? Fuel run one of these cars?
I assume about 40 laps. I mean, that's close to what the Cup cars were running. I think it was 40 to 45, I think. Maybe even less than that. So maybe everyone's still on 2-stop strategy here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I haven't run a B car at one of these places in a little while. So I'm not quite sure of the fuel burn. But yeah, they could be pulling a road course style strategy, because if you're up front and then you pit here, you're not going to lose a lap.
Yeah, but to pit here and say 2 or 3 more laps, or not 2 or 3 people coming into pit lane just by themselves on these older tires, they're probably going to lose a lot of time, I would imagine, to the rest of the pack, assuming that the rest of the pack stays somewhat together.
This will be interesting to watch. Jot these numbers down here real quick too. See how the strategy plays out.
Yeah, 19, 48, and the 9. Those are the 3 cars to watch. Smith stays in the lead. Smarl, we saw him. He started towards the very front, still running up front. Pace car comes in. Looks like restarts galore.
Green.
3 cars still on pit lane as the leaders get going here. Nelson with a great jump. He's going to try. He'll clear himself up to 3rd, maybe looking for more. Tucks himself back in behind that 48 car. Great restart from that 2nd row on the outside. You can see them coming into view now. Still got a big pack. We had 31 cars take the start here tonight. 3 cars still on pit lane, working on damage repair. 3 wide now, looking like... Oh, these cars are starting to get...
Yeah, they're going for it again.
Certainly going for it again. That 7 car way up against the wall, scaring me. He's 3 wide right now with the 76 Corsair car. He's going to go to the middle. That's really slowing the outside lane down, but it doesn't seem to be... You would think it should slow the outside lane down, but the 07 of Nelson straight back to the lead where he thinks he belongs. He's been starting up front, has been running up front. Now the outside lane gets reorganized, and just like that, tucking underneath was the 29 car. And the PUBG Mobile leaving the 47 to fend for himself. Great run so far for Herzog. He started 17 positions back from where he is right now. And the 7 car still running up against the wall, so he's scaring me up there.
Not sure what he's doing. There's not too many cars even in the 2nd lane, let alone the 3rd. Looks like he's probably going to maybe drop down now? No? Not yet. But looks like the inside lane's really going to be the place to be, at least for now. I think eventually these guys are going to have to start racing.
Well, what I will say is credit to the 07. Saw the opportunity, took it, dropped down immediately, knowing the outside lane was already weakened. I think what helped him the most there was the guys on the inside had the older tires. Kenny now falling back to, looks like 6th place last time by. 19 car right on the 07's bumper. Running in 2nd, 48 running in 3rd. Those guys are leading that inside line, and I just wonder if they maybe struggled with momentum getting going. inside lane always seems to have a harder time bumping each other. I think that's why you see the inside lane kind of get jumped up and bunched up. The outside lane doesn't really move as much as the inside lane slows down, it feels like here.
Yeah, you get really bogged down when there's some cars on the outside of you as well, so that's why the high side just gets so much more momentum, and you just need a couple people to commit to it. It doesn't even really take a lot of pushing. As long as you're committed to that car in front of you, you're gonna make up a lot of ground.
Right now watching the 9 car, that purple and black car. That's Kenny. He has a little bit of damage from that last wreck. Still elected to stay out, finding himself running in this lead pack now. Maybe kind of his strategy was, all right, I got a little bit of damage from behind. I'd rather not get myself involved in another wreck if I stay up front. That's a lot less cars to have to worry about when they start wrecking. Outside lane, the 47 trying to fight back. He's got some help from that 76 car. That 76 car looked fast, but looked like he struggled to hold his line. Speaking of the 9 car, dips down below the apron. That'll bog the inside lane down considerably. And the 47 looks like they're up to 3rd place now.
And look who else is on the outside, the 22.
Absolutely, completely missed Owens. Owens coming back to that outside lane. He is fast, and he is definitely ready to push anyone.
And you look at this, 2 more cars follow him to the outside too.
That's Sykes on the outside, joining with the 04 car. One person I'm interested in seeing what happened to, looks like towards the very back of this pack, still out there is JT Poole in the 34 car, or on the screen, on the standings, it'll say the 26. He's still a part of this lead pack right now. It looks like lead pack's pretty strong. It's 26 cars, even with all the severe damage that we saw. 26 cars are still able to maintain the speed necessary to stay a part of this lead pack. Some of the cars, to mention the 10 of Mitz, who got the free pass, he looks like his strategy is to kind of stay off the lead pack entirely. He's fallen off the lead pack again, running 19 seconds back. And now here comes some of the cars that they're going to come across, like the 09 car, who's currently going 2 laps now. Oh, that is considerably slower. That was a moment for the outside lane cars. Great job. I think that was the 04 who missed him the very last second.
That weakened the inside lane as well.
Absolutely separated them. I think they kind of saw what was happening. Maybe that 29 car, you'll see him on the screen there now, the PUBG car. I think kind of gave a lane for the 04 to come down, separated this group. Heads up driving, but it looks like it'll all work out. They'll get themselves back together. How about a viewer from, I can't even remember the platform. D-Live, that's the platform. We got a viewer from D-Live, God, in 1976, sending us a Pepe the Frog meme. That's wholesome.
Is Pepe doing anything?
He's got headphones on and he looks happy, so...
Awesome.
Yeah, that's wholesome. Thanks, Con. I forgot that D-Live was a platform that we stream to. We don't stream that very often.
That high lane just got really tight and a couple guys had to shake out of it there.
Big moment again for the 04. 04 is finding himself in some pretty big moments. I think what ended up happening there was the 47 found a way to bog down. 76 is going to slide his way in behind the 48 car. And who does that leave? It leaves Jesse Owens. Or, sorry, Jesse Owens. Sean Owens in the 22 car with help from the 12 of Wheatley. They'll push themselves back towards the front. A lot of cars shuffled in on the bottom. One car on the apron, I believe that was the 9. It was, and Kenny struggling on those older tires now, got loose at a 4.
Those guys who didn't pit are still really close to the front of the pack.
Yeah, right now, currently the cars that didn't pit, I'm showing in 12th, 6th, and 2nd, respectively, but it looks like they're starting to struggle. That 9 car is really struggling for grip compared to the rest of the field, and hey, once you start losing momentum here, it feels like you can never get it back. But here's a guy who has momentum no matter where he is. 22 car of Owens, getting help from the 12.
There's some smoke, maybe some contact in 3 and 4 there.
Oh, the 19's gonna force his way towards the outside. That'll leave the 07 to the inside. That'll bog the inside lane back down. More cars jump to the outside just when I thought the outside was about to lose its momentum. The 19 of Smith in the McDonald's car goes back, takes the lead. Kind of trying to play both lines, doesn't know which one's going to work. You just got to pick a line there, cut that 22 from pushing him.
22's on the outside. I'd definitely stay in front of him. Oh, they're going 3 wide now.
Oh, a little bit of confusion. That's what happened when the 19 kind of came down. The 22 had to follow him. The 12 got shuffled out by who's that? The 42 of Duggan. Or Dugan? There's 2 G's in there, man. How about the Volunteers? Number 42. Helping that outside lane move. And last time by, Owens takes back the lead. That McDonald's car looks fast, but the 22 car looks faster, jumps to the inside lane. Almost a bit of an incident there in the 42 and the 12. Left all alone on the outside lane. Look at that, 28 cars in a straight line. No one looking to work with that 12 or the 42. They're going to go 3 wide. 42 will jump down in a big-time moment there. I don't know how it worked out for the 42. He let the 12 go underneath of him, and then he jumped down to the bottom.
He dragged the brake going down the backstretch. He must have a spotter watching that. There's no way he saw that hole.
That was something else. Con sent us a thinking Pepe the Frog. What are you thinking, Con? I mean, are you thinking strategy? Because I'm thinking strategy. Because I'm thinking about how in the heck the 42 car jumped 4 cars down on the inside and we saw a hole. And now it looks like as soon as the inside gets bogged down, it looks like he's going to jump to the outside. That 42 car, he's got an angel up above looking out for him, doesn't he?
Thinking about how the leader has to pit in less than 10 laps.
Oh yeah, don't tell the rest of the field. The rest of the field's probably going to try to go to at least lap 60, because if they can stretch it out to lap 60, they're going to be in a good place. I mean, if anything, Owens might be praising the 19 car, because, hey, 19 car is going to have to pit here in the next 10 laps. The more I can save gas behind him, the better off I'll be. 12 car still shuffled out.
That's sure what I like doing, just saving fuel and letting other people cut the air for you.
Yeah, that 19 car, like we said, with him having to pit, it's not a bad place to be if you're in the 22 car. Hey, eventually this guy's going to have to come to pit lane, and eventually I'm going to be okay. 12 car finally shuffles down. The car you just saw swipe across your screen, multiple laps down, I believe, without a front end at all. That is our friend in the 09 car.
Really sideways, 1 car in the wall.
Oh, big moments there. Oh, they're spinning. They're wrecking. The 57. Who is that? Ziegler. He's going to touch the wall. No caution. The 09 enters pit lane. Backing up. That is, yes it is, Sims 2 Serious runner-up Jared Ziegler. Completely goes around losing the pack. No caution. He'll try to get up to speed with those smoked tires.
I think a lot of cars have lost the main pack.
Man, that's always what happens here, though. You always have an incident that doesn't cause a caution that separates the whole field. And it looks like they're mostly strung out. Maybe they can get together and try to work on something. There's JT Bull. He's the one who's kind of benefited the most out of this. Bull gained, looks like 12 spots on that exchange. He's got help from Steven Yoke. The caboose on the outside, but yeah, like look at that. You can see how those cars are so strung out. It's only inevitable that it looks like they'll lose this lead pack, and that's great news for the lead pack.
The 34 and 95 are hauling the mail on the outside. It looks like hooked up real good. No locking bumpers rules here.
No locking bumpers rules is right. Here's
the 12 car clipped the apron. Almost lost it.
There it is. There's the 34, which is the 26 again in the standings. And the Love's car, he's getting help from Stephen Mioch. These guys are going to have to do something to get organized to catch this field, though, because while Stephen Yoke and JT Poole are the fastest cars on track, they are far from being fast enough, I think, to catch the rest of the field 3 seconds back. Eventually, that'll start to equalize its way out. Hopefully, with the front pack kind of saving fuel, it'll start to kind of work their way through. Again, the guys that pit, they're going to try to stretch this out to make it on one more stop. 3 cars that stayed out that last restart, they're going to have to pit here, I would say, within the next 5 to 10 laps, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was about to say 3 to 8, because I'm not quite sure what the burn is. Plus, there was that caution. But yeah, they're going to have to pit very soon, almost basically immediately, essentially. But we'll see what the strategy is, because they could go on one more stop too, and they might be able to just get gas on their final stop.
That's true, and that's just it. You can shorten the stop now. This race, if the fuel window is, we'll say 43 to 45, maybe you pit on lap 40 if it stays green.
The car really sideways. The 42 is going to get up into the wall.
Big time moment for the Volunteers car. Maybe got an unhappy bump, and he's really going to lose momentum because that second group was hauling the mail, trying to catch back to the field, and he's all alone out there. Man, as soon as they catch these lap cars, it seems like something happens. And once again, they caught the 10 car of Mintz, who was your lucky dog last time by. He's the only car 1 lap down now. So he'll file himself back in line.
Is finally going to find a hole behind the 95. He's going to look at some grapes for the next few laps.
Well, that's not a terrible place to be for this 42 car. Dugan, I'm assuming his name, out of grapes. 95 is out of grapes. Did somebody deliver grapes to Steven? The 42 car, he seems to be fast. The only thing is he seems to be a little loose. 95 car was working with JT. Those guys race with each other quite a bit in the Simpson Series Cup Series. I wonder if that's kind of where that friendship comes in, because JT has not run any races with this Camping Universe Series.
If you recognize a name from another league or even some official races, on a situation like this, you're probably bound to work with them.
And there goes the 42. He was not waiting. Makes a big move to the outside as soon as these cars got bunched up. He's going to pass 2 cars, it looks like, before he's going to run out of steam, maybe even more.
That's the move you like to show people going to the outside when the inside lane's all checked up and there's a bunch of cars and you get 2 or 3, or it looks like more for him.
Look at that.
And he cut down.
And then the field bunches up again, and look how much they're bunched up here. It looks like this second group was waiting to catch this field, and this lead pack is saving fuel so much because the lead car is trying to save fuel as much as he can, but leading the pack is not good for your fuel mileage. And second place is probably thinking, hey man, I don't care if you go or not, I'm fine right here. See, this is when I like to go to the outside and make everyone's life miserable and race myself all the way to the front. I think the 42 car is trying to do that. He lost about 6 or 7 spots, and he's gotten 4 of those spots back already. As there is the 57 car, you see him on your screen. He's the one who got turned. That's Jared Ziegler. He's now going to go a lap down, so he's going to be the second car 1 lap down. He'll file in.
I think they're pitting this time by, Vincent. I think they're pitting this time by.
Oh, did you see that on the radio? All right.
Yeah.
Time for pit stops. Everyone's going to have to start to get organized. Look at this. They're already abandoning that 19 car. They say, all right, you're going to pit. All right, we're abandoning you right away. Thanks for letting us know.
It's lap 42.
Snake moves to the outside. So we can assume that we're going to see the 19. Was a big moment coming to pit lane. And the 48, no 9 car. Oh, there he is. 9 car will file in. He fell back to 17. So those are the 3 cars that pit, and we will see how they shuffle through. I think there's a risk for them, guys. I think the biggest risk for them now is going to potentially be that they're going to lose so much time that maybe they even go a lap down by the time these leaders have to pit.
Yeah, they very well could, because they weren't really close to each other in the pack, and the pack was pretty well spread out. It's actually tightened up a bit here now. Oh, there's big contact, 95 into the wall.
Oh, Stephen Bioke was having such a good race. Looks like he got pounded maybe from the 42 from behind. He's got some serious damage on that car on both sides now. Here's the last car in the pack. Looks like the 34 car is trying to move up through the field. Back towards the front. There's the 09. He's hugging the inside. He's about to get lapped by the field. And here comes the cars that exiting in pit lane. I see the 48. I see the 19. I do not see the 9 car yet. And here comes the field. So already, guys, these guys are going to look at me basically getting lapped right away. 2 distinct packs after that damage to the 95 car.
95 has lost touch with the pack as well. Looks like he's going to need a caution to get everything back together.
Man, the Sims 2 Series Cup drivers are not having themselves a good time in this series so far. Yeah, I do not see that 95 even when we watch those cars scroll through, so he's got a problem.
JT maybe on off for pit road here too.
Well, they're about to catch the cars that had just pitted. Lap 42, the cars that pitted on the 5 just had come in, the 48 and 19. They all are running about right in front of the field. Look at that, there he is.
Yeah, they're going to make him go to the high side. Oh, no, they aren't. They give him the low line. That's an interesting move.
I was a little surprised by that, but maybe they kind of assumed that, hey, maybe cars will start pitting because we did. I think people are realizing that move was maybe not the best one by staying out there, and
Yeah,
they'll
Gene
shuffle their way back.
Mintz is happy about that. He's in the low line in the main draft. Getting by these guys, he's going to maintain lucky dog position.
Well, here's the only thing. These guys may still be looking at potentially saving fuel. Could that give an opportunity? As you can see, Mintz move up the field there just a little bit. Really side drafted him hard there. JT Rule files back onto the track. He just came into pit lane. Maybe had a damage himself. Fastest lap of the race we just had last time by was the 13 of Matson with a 46.9. So breaking the 47 flat barrier. And that 10 car, look at him, he's trying to side draft him. These cars are trying to save fuel, except for maybe the lap down cars are on this inside, and as you can see, because of that, it's allowing just 2 cars, 2 strong cars, mind you, to work their way to the outside. And look, 10 car, he realizes that I gotta get to this outside lane. These cars on the inside are saving fuel. I want to go out to this outside lane with these lap cars.
He wants to get his lap back. He wants to be part of this race for the win.
Well, they're gonna watch being side by side, because there you can see right in front of this pack, and I believe that is the 5 car of Chalifaux.
Yeah, he's looking in his mirror looking for a place to go right now. Looks like he's going to go really high.
Try to squeeze everyone down into 2. Oh, they're wrecking big time. 1 car in the wall, the 10 car is destroyed. Oh my goodness,
everybody.
the whole field. The whole field. Sykes is in the wall, the 12 is destroyed, the 5 is flipping across the screen. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. A big time incident.
Saw the 42 checking up, and I'm not quite sure what happened after that.
Unbelievable.
I see the 5. Oh, I see what happened. The 5 was getting out of the way, and he got up into the wall, and it knocked him loose.
Oh, that is disappointing. That is a lot of destroyed race cars. And Khan sent us a clapping Pepe. Terrible.
Let's see, 48-19, they had just pitted. All 3 of the cars that were a lap down were involved in this. That took out the whole top line.
Unbelievable. Man, I don't know if anyone's even going to get a lap back, because I think everyone was involved who was even a lap down. Chalifaux's gotten towed. He's in pit lane already. The 76 is already in pit lane. His car was destroyed. And pit stops happening now. I would say this would have been good news for the 19 car, but he was destroyed in that incident. So all of those cars that pitted before are basically gone in this race. And the only person this really worked out for, I think, was the 95, is Stephen Bioch, who really needed a caution there. Let's get a replay on this incident. This is craziness. So here's the view. Chalafo kind of goes back to the middle, kind of goes to the outside, and then gets loose, and there is nowhere to go. Everyone gets piled in. The 10 got loose on the bottom coming across, and it just blocked the entire racetrack. And there's the 5. We watched him flip across the screen. That was his view of it. Chalafo, that was not the move to make there at all for the number 5 car. And this is a discussion of maybe you. I'm not sure what you do. Let's go to the 48 car. I think he's going to have perhaps the worst and the best view of all of this. He's leading this outside lane. You hear the radio call out where to go. 5 car goes high. He's going to get loose, comes back to the middle, and then goes back high, and then comes right back down, and the 48 was full throttle, has nowhere to go. He gets caught up again twice more coming down. The 42, the 57, all destroyed in this incident. This was big-time carnage. This may make the iRacing Not Top 10 list. Man, this is...
I'll definitely be getting some cool screenshots out of this. Oh, no, the 42. The 42 of Tyler Dugan was checking up for that incident. Like I said, he was the first car I saw slow down. He got totally arca-braked. The entire left side of his car ripped off.
Ugh. You never liked that at all. Let's see if we can get a hold of the 48 car and see his view of this. We might not have a hold of him. He might have already... Oh, there he is. Chris, this is Vincent and Jesse in the broadcast booth. You got a copy of us? Chris, this is Jesse and Vincent in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? I'll take that as a no. All right, we'll drop him back off where he belonged. All right, who else was a part of that big wreck? I guess it was the 19 car, right? Let's see if we can find the 19 and all of that carnage. Oh, don't see him anywhere. Yeah, that was a big time wreck. Well, nonetheless, we still have an entire race left to go. Pace car is about to come back around, and how about this for a front row? I don't know if anyone saw this coming. First place hasn't pit since lap 19. Cooper. He gets a pop right there on the restart. How about Mr. Cooper in that 38 car? He was basically losing the draft earlier in this race. He's got 30 positions in the first place. He's got to pick a lane here. He's about to get stuck in the middle, and he does get stuck in the middle. So he enjoyed himself.
Pushed him into the wall.
Forced the 47 into the wall. Didn't know how to pick a lane. Takes out the 47.
That's not a good way to make friends.
Just like that. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm the 47, I'm doing everything in my power to not push him. And
And the 38 almost pushed the 22 off the track.
He did push him off. He's just begging to not push the 38. 47's begging to not have to push the 38 car. Trying to go to the middle. Look at everyone backed out of that one quickly. That's still a part of this lead pack. We have about, it looks like we've cut the field down to a third. There are still 4 cars, 5, 6 cars, still on pit lane or in the garage, completely destroyed here, even on the virtual racing. You can see one on your screen there, that main car. I think that was the 71 of Nelson. You can see how destroyed his car is. No resets, no brakes tonight. This is real life racing, as real as it gets on this sim. So, I don't think we're going to have any fist fights, unfortunately. Though there may have been grounds for a couple.
Running on the last lap. I don't know, does anybody live near each other?
Yeah, maybe the 38 car saw the 47. He took his lunch money from him last week the way he bullied him into that wall.
I don't know how close the two Zieglers lived to each other, but they were both swept up in wreck, so no fighting there.
Jared said, won't have any fistfights tonight, and he said he certainly would love to, so maybe the Zieglers are going to fight each other tonight. We'll see. How about JT Poole? He works his way around the 38 car. You see him on the outside. I don't know how JT has survived some of the wrecks, since he was right in the center of the last two ones, but that 34 car, while it has some damage, it looks like on the lip of that car, it looks like he's doing all right for himself. Up front, though, Nelson leads, and we, by the way, just passed halfway, coming across the complete lap 53. So, we restarted at lap 50, 3 laps so far since this restart, and again, those cars that had stayed out really struggling. Coming across 2 more lap cars. Here's the 09. This is going to really force the issue here. 09 up against the wall, and Jared Ziegler as well. They'll work their way around Ziegler. I think that'll put Jared's. They'll work their way around the 95 of Mio. I'm getting my own leaks involved in this, confusing my leaker. And here goes another lap car running that middle groove. He goes to the outside, doesn't come back down. This will be a new trend for the rest of the night. These very, very slow lap cars interrupting this main pack because, unlike real life NASCAR, there is no limit in terms of speed minimums. There's Jared Ziegler. He's going to work his way back on track. That's the 57 car. We saw him torn up in that wreck. He currently runs 27th right now, 8 laps down with Jared Ziegler.
It'd be interesting to see a league institute a crash clock.
Yeah, how interesting, how confusing would that be? I saw you on pit lane for more than 5 minutes. No, you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. They go around the 7 car. No hood on that 7 car. They're still looking for it down in the infield grass.
Luck with that.
That 7 car, he currently runs... that's the other Ziegler. He currently runs 20th. So to his credit, now just 4 laps down, he's actually running himself a pretty smooth race. He tries to file it best he can towards the back of this pack. And
It's
again,
always so
up front, looks like we basically have 4 or 5 cars who are, there's 6 cars, I would say, that are competitive still. Now, on the outside, you can see that leaf filter car and the 34 Lubs car. Those guys don't look like they have much damage either. They're pushing each other hard, trying to catch this outside. No, the 76 car got into the wall, trying to not be swept into the wreck. Is this track too thin, or are these lap cars just too damaged that they have a harder time controlling themselves tonight?
These lap cars are very significantly slow, I would say.
How about 16 live viewers? I think that is the max that we've seen tonight. Again, that is not on Twitch. The number in the center of your screen towards the top, that is our Twitch number of live Twitch viewers. So the 16 you get from Restream here. I can see my bottom left on my Restream chat. I should bring that Restream chat up for you guys during this race broadcast. You guys have something to look at here, other than these cars. How about the 07? I mean, now that we're halfway, I think it's safe to say that the 07 and the 22 have probably been the 2 strongest cars in this race so far. And they are still up front, mostly undamaged, mostly unscathed, and currently running 1st and 5th.
I would say the 29 and 47 also have a chance, but they haven't been quite as strong. They've had a few scuffles, each of them.
Now, one guy that is kind of an underdog dressed in an underdog costume, the 34 car, trying to single-handedly push this weebly and wobbly number 11 car to the lead is JT Poole, and to his credit, there's no medals for trying in racing. There's no awards for trying your hardest. There's no awards for trying harder than anyone else. But if there were, I think JT would at least be nominated for tonight.
There would have to be a sponsor to award that each race.
Yeah, this is the guy who tried the hardest. Yeah, they'll give out a trophy. Could you imagine like those trophies that they gave out one time for stages? Who would want that? Who would want a trophy that says you won a stage?
I totally forgot about the stage trophies. I think that the regular season champion trophy is enough of a joke.
Hey, you were the best driver overall if we still counted that. But we don't.
I think Kyle Busch said it best a couple years ago. He's like, okay. Yeah, everybody is right in this pack. What's the the time differences here?
Right now,
yeah,
I'm
everybody's
showing.
in the second half.
I'm showing 1.4 seconds back to the 13th place car of Norman King. So let's find ourselves back there to Norman. There he is. He currently runs 13th. Directly behind him, one lap down. The first car one lap down is the 9 of Kitty. As you can see, there's a lot of cars. Oh, this is going to get interesting up front. We had some cars just come off of pit lane just now. That was the 71. Much slower than the rest of the cars and some other lap cars. Looks like a gentleman's agreement. They all kind of respected each other there.
It's going to get pretty sketchy every time that happens, and that's going to be probably every other lap the rest of the race here.
Basically. Norman King currently now runs, to his credit, up to 12th as the 38 car of Cooper. We watched him. He was the car on the apron. He had not pit yet. He started on that front row and punted the man into the wall. We saw that. To his credit, Cooper now in the pit lane. So we'll see how he comes back out here. He may challenge Kinney in 15th for that lucky dog spot. The 05 of D's still out there. There he is on your screen. They are now putting him one lap down in that Air Force car. Looks like he's mostly undamaged in that 05 car. Some right side damage. Maybe didn't catch the field. I think he'll be competitive enough if he can get that lap back here. Cooper still on pit lane getting some damage repaired. He's going to peel out now. So he's definitely going to be one lap down at least. So that'll give another position to Kenny next time by. Sun's starting to set. Race really calming down after that big time Kevin LePage style wreck there on lap 50.
I was just about to ask you, how many laps have we been back green?
I think we've been green for 11 laps. We've been green for about 11 laps.
Okay, so they definitely have to pit again.
Oh yeah, that caution threw everyone off their cycle. Now, that 38 car, if he had people with him, that would have opened it up to the end of the race. That we are just on the edge of being able to make it to the end. But if you had, say, I don't know, 6 or 7 cars join you on pit lane right now for 2 tires and a full tank of fuel of whatever you need left packed in there, you could, I would assume, make it to the end of this race at this point.
But yeah. I don't think there'd be a problem with that. Maybe a couple green white checkers, but then you can save under caution. I think the opposite strategy is run it dry and then just get a splash of gas, but you got to make sure you get enough.
Yeah, and that's going to be the struggle, and that'll happen, I assume, around lap 85 to 90. We'll start seeing those splash and go guys. The thing is you don't want to pit with the slower pack. You want to pit with the faster pack. Whichever pack of cars is the most competent, which is the easiest to get together in that single file line and run the fastest. And I know that sounds really confusing, but when you're in a race, you kind of get a feel for it. You know, if I'm the 13th car, I've had a strong day. Maybe not the fastest car out here. I don't think I have the fastest setup or anything, but you know who does? The 22 car. He's right in front of me. Whatever he does, I'm going to do for the rest of this race, because I know that if I'm with him, chances are I'll continue to be with him towards the front of the field.
It's all about having made those moves early, like hoping people have seen what you're capable of. And I'm sure these guys are talking strategy right now, or they've maybe even already decided. Or they might not be saying anything, just keeping all their cards close. Everybody right now is just trying to burn those laps down, get to the end of this thing. Still 35 to go, coming to the line here. Dustin Matson trying to make another move on the outside, going around the 22. Got some help from the 4 car, Brendan Ketchum.
Surprised he's going to make that move. We know that Ketchum is a heck of a driver on the super speedways. In his short tenure at the Simster Series Cup Series, we saw what he could do at Talladega. From what I was told by a lot of drivers, he can make it happen. And look at that, he is making it happen right now. Out of nowhere, the 13 car is going to get pushed all the way to the lead. From, I think that was from 5th place, so from 5th and 6th. Straight to the lead. Now here's the only issue. They have some lap traffic to deal with here soon, and we already saw what that can be and look like. 13 car wants to help his helper get to the bottom. Won't be able to do it this time by. There they go, past the 09. And he'll leave the 4 all alone to the outside lane. Jump down in front of that number 07 of Nelson. 47's going to try to help the 4 car. He knows he's fast now. He'll follow him through in tow.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when they get up front. The Ford is going to cover the 13. He's going to help his helper. What do you think? What do you think is the best thing to do at this point? Do you want to help your helper get to the front as well, or do you just want to hang him out?
Well, there's not a whole lot of cars up here. It looks like the 22 kind of got separated from this lead pack a little bit. Maybe got loose out of the corner or something. Also, I'd like to note that no cars are off the track anymore. No cars are off the track except for the 5 who we saw in that last wreck. He is still considered under tow. I believe he's just left the section, so he will not update. He'll just say that he's stuck in tow for the remainder of the race. He's 21 laps down. The 10 car of Mintz, who we saw get involved in that wreck, he now passed him for position officially as he rejoins the field.
Just hold the front.
And the 37 of Robinson, one of the biggest impacts on that first wreck, 49 laps down, rejoins the field as well. As you can see there, shuffling through. That is the 7 up against the wall, scraping the wall as these lead pack cars get around him. Stephen Mioch in tow with him. That'll put the 7 now 5 laps down, and the 95 4 laps down. As they're going to catch more cars here. That's the 42 and the 12. They're going to sweep their way around those 2. That'll put those cars 3 laps down. And the 4 is all alone on the outside lane once again, as his dancing partner, the 47, jumps to become the 3rd car on the inside lane. The window to make it the end. What's that?
Oh, I was about to say only a few cars are 1 lap down, 3 of them to be exact. Then the next car is 3 laps down. It's Aaron Cooper in the 38th, his first car went, or no, Robert Keane in the first car 1 lap down.
Hey, talk about that. He went a lap down because of fuel strategy. He's still a part of this lead group right now. As you can see how these guys are kind of all shuffling around. Currently, we just saw Steven, he went 3 laps down. He was not 3 to 4, he was 2 to 3 laps down. He's actually going to pass the 42 and the 12. That was actually for position, so there's still some positions being swapped inside the top 50, or sorry, inside the top 20 now. But as they keep turning these laps, those cars that are heavily damaged are losing more and more time as they are still waiting to get those repairs done. Now we saw Cooper, we saw him pit because he was out of sequence with the rest of the field. He pit on lap 60, so he might be able to stretch it to the end. I assume he should have no problem doing so unless we have green on checkers here towards the end of this race. Right now, Matson currently continues to lead. This race hit kind of a low point, a little bit of a lull here so far. We'll see if the intensity picks up. I'm going to be curious to see how pit stops go, because right now you can pit, pack your car full of fuel, whatever you need to make it to the end. At this point, you don't even have to pack your car full of fuel, but you can get 4 tires, go out there with some fresh tires with a group of guys that are really fast, or, as you mentioned, run it till you're dry, take no tires, do everything in your power not to slide them, do everything in your power not to spin them on your way out, and get maybe a single gallon or 2 just enough to make it to the end. That's what's going to become important here at the end of this race.
I think that exit is the hardest part. Like, you're always used to coming to pit road and hot, dirty tires. You're not used to leaving pit road with those same tires usually.
As they sweep by the 05 car that will put him 2 laps down. Another one of those cars that kind of just has minor damage, looking to get the rest of it fixed at some point. There's Cooper, you can see him coming through 3 and 4. There's the 76 of the Corsair car, and then there's your field. What's left of it, at least. Sweeping on through. Right now we have 12 cars on the lead lap in the lead pack. A couple of other cars joining the lead pack now as Kitty and the 05 file in. They've been able to maintain speed with this lead group. You can see they've worked their way past now the 76. I love seeing green flag pit stops here, so I've been dying for it to happen, but we haven't had a chance to watch it happen yet. Because every time we get close, we get cautions, we get big time wrecks.
I think we might have a chance at it this time.
Yeah, there's not enough cars. And I think all of the cars that were troublemakers are basically gone. The only problem that we have in terms of making it without any more cautions is we have all of these slow, off-pace, heavily damaged cars. And what ends up happening is if these cars are too wide at all, these cars that are so heavily damaged kind of have a hard time controlling themselves. We already saw what they can do when they're just too wide. So
it becomes more like a Mario Kart game where a wall pops up and you have to dodge it.
Absolutely. That's what the 48 car saw when he was going into 3 and 4. He saw a wall, and then the wall shuffled away, and then he saw a clear track, and then he saw a wall shuffle right back in front of him. Right now, 31 cars took the start here tonight. 30 cars are on the racetrack right now, so we still have 30 cars on the racetrack. They're going to shuffle on by the 2 who's going to go to the outside, thought about staying to the inside. He'll shuffle his way to the outside. That's Pennington. And they're going to sweep around to catch that number 38 and to put the 38 2 laps down. That's Cooper now. I do apologize. I believe that the 88 of Lee and Robinson have not returned to the track. The 37 attempted 1 lap. I saw him exit the pit lane, but never again. Saw his number, and I assume that he's not running lap times because I'm not seeing any lap times pop up. So I believe that gives us the 28 cars still on track, but only 15 of them are fast enough to stay within the lead pack. So, as you can imagine, that just means that we have a lot of slow cars scattered everywhere.
Both cars in the
speckled,
lead lap currently.
speckled across this track.
Half and half. Actually, it's more than half. More than half of the cars are damaged.
And they're going to go by the 09, and I believe that's the 48. We talked about how he was involved in that last big wreck. 09 was involved, I think, in the first wreck of this race. Got some severe damage when he ran into the back of another car, flipping. It was the 88 car that flipped on that first incident. And to Nelson's credit, while he disappears there for a second, currently running 22nd, so gonna make something out of nothing, right? Your race was ended early, but due to the attrition of nature of plate racing, he still finds himself out there without a front end at all.
The trend for this race is to not have a front end, so he's got that down.
Got that down pat. He was the first one to do it. The 09 car patented that look. Like my girlfriend would say, the no front end look is definitely in vogue.
Yeah.
There, as you can see on your screen, at least 3 cars at the tail end of this pack without any nose at all. Todd messaging in, wondering what league this is, so might as well do a call out. It's been a while. This is the Camping Universe Xfinity Series League. Runs Tuesday nights. Green flags around 9:05. We'll have green flag between 9:05 and 9:07. Sessions go up at 8 o'clock. Broadcasts go on around 8:55 to 9 o'clock. So tune in on the Sims2 Series family of broadcast channels. We are on Facebook, Twitch, and DLive. You can follow us on any of those channels. Click in and watch us. And replays will be on our YouTube channel. You know, Jesse, I saw as these cars were going down the back straightaway, I couldn't help but to see and notice that there was a plane flying in. Have you had a chance to try out the flight sim yet?
I have not tried Flight Sim. I've watched some stuff on it though. It looks like some fun stuff. I would only have an Xbox controller. I don't know how to adapt like a steering wheel to anything like that. My graphics would definitely not be quite up to par. I'm still running an old GTX 970, but it might be something I look into.
Well, might
have you
be
been
something
checking
you
it out?
want to look into. It looks great. I've been dying to get it, but I don't want to get it without getting the deluxe version. I don't want to wait for it to work the bugs out. You can see the field now wrapping around we got a little cluster of lap cars, the 7, the 57, 42, and the 12. Starting to get a collection of these cars. 76 Corsair card, Newton, to his credit, he's kind of able to stay with this pack a little bit. And he'll join it. We'll have a 5-car cluster of heavily damaged cars now circling around. They're starting to consolidate their efforts, right?
Yeah, they're bound, with as many damaged cars as there are out there, they're bound to find the guys that are in similar speed, and others will just latch onto that.
And there they go, working around Stephen Mioch. That'll put Stephen Mioch 4 laps down now. We are past lap 80, coming around to complete lap 81 of 100 here tonight. Now the question becomes for these leaders, we've been watching this 13 and the 07. The 07 looks hungry to lead. We talked about the 19 car. He was basically dominating earlier. Now I haven't seen him re-enter the race either, so I assume that he is also off track permanently, because I assume that the bright red McDonald's car would tickle my fancy every time it flew by.
We would definitely notice that one, especially if it was just dropping through the pack. But yeah, that wreck took out a bunch of really cool cars.
A lot of strong cars. That's the worst part about it. That 07 car is clamoring for the lead. He is one of, I would say, only 2 cars that have really, we've seen race hard, clean, and strong. The 2 strongest cars that I have seen in this race left are the 07 and the 22, but we saw the 4 car, Brandon, just suddenly come alive, push the number 13 to the lead. Brandon Ketchum in the 4 currently runs in the 4th position. and the 13 of Matson, who started up front, kind of fell all the way to the back. You saw him have a big-time save earlier. Now drives his way back up to the lead, of course, with that help from the 4 car, and he's been able to hold his own right there. Hasn't been challenged too much yet. And they're coming up again
to get down to it here.
They're about to catch and lap once again the 05 of D's. That'll put D's 3 laps down. I feel like D's is a dangerous name. I don't want to say what I'm going to say.
Are they saving fuel? They're really strung out. Nobody's really pushing except for at the very front.
I would assume that everyone's saving fuel apparently except for the 07 car. He seems to be the only one really pressing the issue. Everyone else, kind of, like you said, kind of seems strung out. About a 1/10 of a second separates every single car in this pack, and they're running 48-second laps and slower. So this is really the slowest we've seen the lead pack this entire race. Even when they were kind of trying to extend a one-stop strategy earlier in this race when they all pit on lap 19, we saw them saving quite a bit then, but even still, I think these guys are saving quite a bit of fuel. Alright, here's trivia. Who's the driver of the 05 car?
That was some funny timing on the radio. That'd be D's.
D's nuts.
Over the radio, just as you went saying that, somebody said a Canadian on the radio.
A Canadian, huh?
Yeah.
Who's driving the 05? A Canadian.
I'm not sure if D's is Canadian. We'll have to find out.
Is D's an ethnically Canadian name? We'll have to find out. He is getting pushed and trying to be passed by, I believe that's the 95 of Myoke. They don't know how to single file themselves, one lane themselves. The 76 car looks like he's got a serious issue. That is Newton, 23 laps down, now 24 laps down. He's struggling to make it to pit lane. That might potentially be a caution. Whoops. There he is. He is 11 laps behind anyone he could potentially, theoretically pass, and I don't know if he's going to make it to pit lane. I don't know if this is going to cause a caution. You can see there he goes turning down to the what I assume is the fire marshals of iRacing.
Get a fire extinguisher.
Get the fire extinguisher ready. Doesn't look like it's going to cause a caution. We're coming across to the end of this race. We have 14 laps to go this time by. Nerves. I feel like I'm more nervous than these drivers look right now. They are all driving in a nice, kind, single file line. Do you have to position yourself to enter pit lane though? Or do you just single file it and hope that you come out where you need to come out? I feel like this is where you have to go out there and you have to push. You have to push to get to the lead because you want to be in the lead when they all pit, right?
Right, I was just thinking that. I think we'll know when they pit when the first move is made to the outside, because somebody's going to want, probably Owens in the 22, he's going to want that position to gain those spots while everybody's saving fuel and kind of lagging behind. Because you can make up a lot of time doing that. I've done that before in some official races where you kind of wait for everybody to string out and lag back to pit, and you fly around 5, 10, 8 cars, 8, 10 cars, and get some spots out of it.
Spots and time on track, that's another big one. We talked about, when you want to pit. You want to pit with the fastest group of cars. There's a lot that goes into that. Not only do you have to be fast, you have to be fast on pit lane, into pit lane, on pit lane, in your pit stop, doing the right adjustments so that you all cluster together exactly the way you need to, and exiting pit lane and getting up to speed together in that fast cluster. That's a lot to take in. And sometimes you just end up in the wrong group. You end up in the group that has a guy spinning coming onto pit lane. You get caught up in the group that has maybe someone getting loose and spinning out, exiting pit lane. Or maybe you get caught up in the group that no one gets the memo, taking fuel only. they're taking 2 tires, they're taking 4 tires, and you have the group all spread out with as little laps we have left to go, knowing that they have to pit. Man, this is a stressful situation to be in for all these drivers. And I think the best buffer is to just have the lead. To have the lead here right now, to me, would be the best buffer. But
I agree. That's just time in front of your competitors that gives you any kind of leeway for a mistake entering pit road or getting into your box or leaving your box on hot tires. You know, there's so many variables that, you know, not everything can even be accounted for sometimes.
Right now, a little bit of a moment there once again. That 47 car is a little loose tonight.
Yeah, I just heard over the radio, 47 to pit road this time. JT Pools.
We are going to have 10 laps to go. This will be really interesting. Got to get ourselves down to our pit road box here.
Does everybody pit? That's my question. Sounds like it.
Everyone might be coming in. This is going to get really stressful, really dangerous, really quick if they're all coming on these very old tires. There they go.
Here they come.
Everyone's coming down.
Everybody to pit road.
Oh, that is going to be very, very tight.
Time inside. Ooh, little contact. Pretty clean.
There they all go. Look at them get clustered together. Damage. You can see them working down pit lane. Some cars did stay out. The 04 of Sykes.
Or 29, sorry. 29 overshot his pit.
The 97 of Funk, the 04 of Sykes, and I believe it was everyone else had come in. And there they go. They're all leaving. Oh, some cars taking longer to leave. I see JT still sitting in his box. He's not going to be a part of this lead pack if he waits any longer. There he goes.
That's the tough thing to do. Like, did they communicate what they were getting? It looks like everybody got 4 tires even.
Surprising. It looks like, yeah, you're right. Everyone's doing a great job. But how about the best on and off pit lane? The 22 car is going to lead this group. Now, that's the other issue. Maybe it's too big of a lead. These cars really strung out right now. JT's the furthest one behind. We'll see how this all shuffles out towards the front, though. There it is. 22 and more. Now entering pit lane. There they are. Whoops, trying to find them. Exiting pit lane now is the 04 of Sykes and the 97 showing the 11 of Funk. And there comes the pack.
There we go.
Oh, 3 wide already. The 47 thought he was making the move to win the race going around. He's going to get passed by them all.
07 got around the 13 and got the push from him to the proverbial lead.
And they're going to fly past the 97 and the 04, so that we just saw the 97 and the 04 pit off sequence with these cars, trying to outsmart them. They're going to lose the lead, lose any chance that they had at potentially winning this race. This is a 9-lap sprint coming to 8 laps to go, and there are basically 5 cars involved in this race right now. What is that? Oh, the 51 car. There it goes. It'll reshuffle. He's trying to stay with this lead pack. We haven't talked about him at all tonight. And the 51 of Bianchi. So this is going to be a 5-car race. So it seems right now, going back, there's the 97 showing again on the screen is the 11, the 29, the 04, and more. This is the second group. They look to be running slower considerably than the lead pack, and they're still 4 seconds back with 8 laps to go, so I have no faith that they're going to be able to catch these cars. But no one's saving fuel anymore. 22 now has some help from the catching and climbing 51. He's going to try to go to the outside. And he's going to have no help out there, that 22 car. Just 4 cars, 5 cars now clustered together. That 22 car is the lone man to the outside. Not enough cars on the inside to bog him down. That's your race for the win right there, sweeping across your screen. This second pack is going to need a caution or to work together painstakingly for 7 laps and hopefully can catch the field. I don't see it happening.
You see in that front pack. And even some of these further back cars, they're starting to shuffle around quite a bit.
Lead pack staying single file. They know that if they stay single file, there's no chance that there'll be any competition. It'll just be these 5 racing for the win. No caution so far. Since lap 50, we've been green. 6 laps to go, showing now. .07 of Nelson, followed by the 13 of Matson, followed by the 47 of Herzog, followed by the 51 of Bianchi, who, again, we haven't even mentioned until lap 93 for the first time tonight, followed by the 22 of Owens.
47 keeps wanting to go to the outside. He's gonna have to commit, or I don't know, figure something out, because he keeps leaving that door open.
He's going to have to convince the 51. I think Bianchi is happy that he just got to 4th. I think Bianchi would be even happy if he can get to 3rd. I think 3rd place is in a terrible place to be. Really, 3rd place decides who gets to win the race. See some smoke in front of them. I think that's from the blinking Nelson car.
That 47 and 51, they're both Toyotas. You don't hear a lot about manufacturer stuff, but might go with each other here.
Currently runs Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Toyota, Ford. So the 07 for the bow ties working his way around, trying to be the representation to get these guys to the end of this race. If we were to have a caution, JT Poole currently last car on the lead lap. He currently runs in 12th. Kenny would be your lucky dog. He currently runs 13th. That's held the same since the restart, basically, on lap 50. 4 laps to go. This lead pack doesn't want to caution. They're pulling away from the second group more and more each lap. But they're still running considerably slower than they were before. No one wants to make that move just yet.
I don't know. Any of these 5 could win. I don't know why they don't make a move.
51 kind of holding back perhaps just a little bit. We see that a lot with the Cup cars. They'll try to, somebody will hold back so they can help get that run, drag the brakes a little bit on the straightaway, get the guy right behind him hooked with them. So long as the 22 car goes with the 51, even if he stays in line, they'll be able to test about how good they are at sucking back up. Unfortunately, though, as you can see working around those 4 consolidated lap cars, led by Mioch on the outside. Can't quite make a move yet. 3 laps to go. That might be the last big cluster of lap cars that these guys have to deal with. There's a big move there. The 13's going to try to go all alone. 47's going to selfishly tuck back in line. He wants to be the second car on the inside.
See what the 51 does.
.13 car trying everything he can, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to continue to fall now. Good news for him. With just 2 laps to go, he's going to have the 22 car, who may have been the best pusher all night, right behind him. 2 Fords. Oh, the 13's going to try to tuck in front of the 51, and he does. Looks back to the outside. 51's going to try to tuck in behind him. Look at this run. The 13 car is strong here tonight. He just needs 1 person to go with him.
Oh, he might get 2 here. But it might be too late coming to 1 to go here.
Oh, Owens is fast, though. We know that 13 is fast. We know Owens is fast. Coming around. White flag will be in the air. No cautions, no more time. It's just these cars racing for the win. They touch, coming to the white flag. 47 goes high. He's going to try to go back low. Everyone's disorganized. No one knows what line to run. 47 tucks back in. Second car on the inside. How didn't they wreck right there? 47 continues to shuffle around on the inside, looking for every single line that he can go. The 13 and the 22 getting a big push on the outside.
To the outside. The outside's got the momentum going into turn 3.
Big wreck in the back. No caution. They're racing back to the line.
Side by side through 4. Little sideways. Lots of contact.
Is the 47 trying to win it? Down to the apron, the 07 goes at the line. It's
At
a
the
13
line's
car.
13. Oh, and they're wrecking now.
The 47 of Herzog's going to get 4th. The winner, after all of that, Matson in the 13. How about this for a 2.4 I rating? That's a big-time win. Average I rating in this race was 2.4, so how about taking the guy in the middle of the road and getting the job done here? 07 of Nelson will come home 2nd. What a great finish. We'll put the standings back up. That's your standings right there. Didn't want to distract you on that final lap with them. Great show. Ends up with 12 cars finish on the lead lap. And there it is. This is all about the victory lap for Mr. Matson. Going through the grass. Great job from him. Top 5 managed to stay within the top 5 without wrecking each other for the last 10 laps there. That finishing order is the 13, the 07, the 22 of Owens, the 47 of Herzog, and the 51 of Bianchi. The 11, showing the 97 on the standings, is Funk. Brandon Ketchum, who we saw was very fast earlier, actually pushed the 13 to the lead, where he held on to it for the majority of that final run. He'll come home 7th, the 31 of Opitz, 8th, the 29 of New Bigging in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Norman King in the 28. 13 car trying to get locked up against the wall. I think he's going to blow his engine hitting the wall that many times.
Burnt down's not going to be racing anymore.
Dustin, this is the broadcast booth. Can you hear us?
I got you.
All right. How about that for a victory? Dustin, how'd you get it done tonight?
Oh man, I kind of hung out around the back a good part of that race. Just kind of tried to figure out what all the drivers are doing, and then I found myself kind of up good front, and so I just got myself out to the lead, and we basically just kind of pit cycle, just kind of cycled us back out there. And after that point, it was a 10-lap shootout, so I thought for sure that I maybe had pulled out a line a little too soon on Caleb, because no one seemed to wanted to go with me in the beginning, but 22 gave me a really great push, and I was able to hang on there.
I'll tell you what, it was definitely impressive what you were able to do. We saw you get to the lead from help from the 4 car. You ended up leading a huge majority of that final run to the finish. Final 50 laps we ran basically caution-free. Was that planned? Was it a plan? Go to the lead? Looked like everyone was kind of in fuel-saving mode, and you and the 4 car just kind of zoomed up straight to the lead, back from maybe, I think, 8th or 9th place.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of suspicious that people were saving fuel because I noticed that our pace was way off, and I usually am more patient than that, but I definitely did not want to ride the rest of the race out just with one fuel stop. I kind of want to force the issue a little bit, force everyone to kind of make a fuel call, so obviously at that point just jumped out of the line, and thankfully the 4 went with me, and we were able to kind of burn a little bit of fuel there for everyone, so that was kind of my goal.
Jesse, you have any questions for our first race of the season race winner?
Not that I can think of. That was a fantastic last move. You coming to the white flag. I think you were 3rd, maybe even 4th there, and somehow got to the lead even with the momentum being broken.
That 47 came up. Was there contact there, or was that just him getting loose up the racetrack?
I need to go back and look at that one, because I was definitely swatting flies trying to hang on to the car, so I don't know that there was any contact, but I definitely felt the car drift up the track. It almost felt like a 4-wheel drift, and I I was hanging on there for a second. I thought for sure I was probably about to wreck, but somehow kept going straight.
Well, congratulations again on the race win. We've had quite a few viewers here tonight thanks to being officially affiliated on Twitch. Literally the day before this race, we went from having 50 viewers, I think now up to 57 followers officially. And we've had double-digit viewers this entire race, so you definitely had the job done in front of a great crowd. And that Patagonia number 13 looked like it was the lucky number 13 today. Congratulations on the win, and good luck. I always ask drivers this early in the season. Do you feel like you're a threat for the championship when you win a race like this?
Well, I will be honest, I'm not a huge fan of plate racing. I think it's very much feast or famine. I was kind of just going to actually be happy with just a solid finish, and I would have been completely satisfied with that top 5 there, but even if I got shuffled to the back, but you just got to go for it either way. So I'm kind of glad to get the win, and hopefully we'll build some momentum into next week. Darlington's a little bit of a home track for me, and I did a pretty good job there last season, so I'm hoping to kind of repeat that.
Well, good luck to you. We definitely look forward to seeing you again on the racetrack next weekend. And feast or famine, it looked like it was feast for the 13 car of Dustin Matson.